The next day was Christmas. All Della had was $1.84. What could she possibly do then? Fall on the bed and cry? Well, she did it because it was all she could do then. The story was about a young couple, Mr. James Dillingham Young and his wife, Mrs. Della Young. The couple was deeply and selflessly in love with each other. Mr. James was 22 years old and had a family to look after at such a young age. He had a job which paid him $30 a week, but it recently came down to $20 a week. So the couple doesn't have a lot of money. They have a moderate apartment with defected furnitures and a little money for their expense. But that was never a matter of chaos in the household of the couple. It was Christmas time in the story. Della wanted to prepare a gift for her husband, Jim in her loving language. But all she had was $1.84, which was nothing. So she decided to cut her long, lovely hair to make a present for her husband. Her hair was like a brown waterfall and as valuable as any queen's jewel. Also for her husband, James, there were only two valuable things in this whole world. One was his watch, which belongs to his father's father, which was valuable than any king's possession. And second, his wife's long, lovely hairs. Della was ready to sell such a priceless thing because she can't afford to let a Christmas pass without giving a present to her Jim. So she went to the hairdressers and stopped by the store which names Mrs. Sofferani's hair articles of all kinds, and there she happened to buy Della's hair for $20. And after selling her hair, Della went by from store to store almost in the whole city to find a perfect gift for her husband Jim. At last she found a gold bracelet at a store which perfectly matched with Jim's watch. So the moment when she saw that, she knows that this is it, and she buys that gift in $21 for him. And back at the home, Della grew anxious as the time passed by. The anxiety hits her because now she is very much tensed in the situation she is in, knowing that whether Jim will hate her now just because she had cut all of her hairs and is not pretty anymore. So she had this concept that she is ugly without her hairs and Jim loves her for her beauty. So now that she is ugly, Jim probably won't love her. Jim entered the home with a strange reaction for which Della was not ready. So that makes Della more anxious. She goes on confronting Jim that her hair will grow fast and that he don't need to hate her for that, as she was not beautiful anymore. But Jim was just looking at her without saying anything, without giving any kind of anger or any kind of tantrums. He was just looking at her with strange looks. That makes Stella more anxious. And then again she goes on quoting that the hairs of my head could be counted, but no one could ever count my love for you. So all these things shows that how bad Della was feeling for losing one of her treasury, which was very much valuable for her and for her husband as well, because that was not only Della's pride, that was her husband's prize as well. So that happens. But when Jim speaks, all the anxiety is just shattered away. Jim laid his hand around his wife, confronting her and giving her a very lovely reaction, saying that his love for Della was never a matter of her beauty or her hair. He loves her because of who she is. So she doesn't need to worry that just because she doesn't have that long hair to herself, which was his pride, and that he will going to hate her for that. Thus he quoted that nothing like a haircut could make me love you any less. How romantic. Then he described that his strange reaction was because of the gift James bought for Della. So what was the gift? The gift was the comb, a very luxurious one which Della happened to see at a store once and loved that comb and wanted to buy that comb, but because it was very expensive, she cannot afford to buy at that time period. So what Jim did, Jim prepared that comb as a present for her, But now she cannot be able to use that comb, and that comb was also a piece of jewel, so she can just style her hair with that comb. So she won't be able to do that, so there's no use of that gift. The gift was a wise one, but not of any use for Della. That's Magi. And on the other hand, when Della, with the love of her husband, grows sentimental, she said that her hair will grow fast. So when she had her grown up hair, all grown hair, she will use that piece certainly. For now, she'll be keeping it safe. Then again, Della was excited with the fact that it's her turn, means she is now going to present the gift to her husband. With all the excitement, Della gave her gift to James, which was the gold chain. So when James found that gold chain, he was just shattered and sat down on the sofa, telling that he bought the comb for Della in exchange of his watch. Means James bought his watch to buy that comb for Della. And now Della cut her hair to get that gold chain for James. So neither of the gifts are useful to any of them. The two gifts that are very valuable and are wisely chosen by the couples, but they are of no use. Thus, the couple represents the Magi's. So, what is Magi? The Magi's are three wise men that follow the stars and bought gifts for the baby Christ. The gift of Magi represents true love, sacrifice, selflessness, and wisdom. So, Magi's are those who prepares wise gifts for others, though those gifts are not materialistically valuable, but they showcase the importance of the person, the love for others. So obviously at the end of the day, whatever is count is love. Actually, love is all that counts. So this is it with the story, The Gift of the Magi, about the two lovely couple who are the Magi's for each other's, because their gifts are very much valuable, showcasing their selfless love and wisdom for each other, though they are not useful for the couple for that period of time, but still it showcased the pure love in the form of those gifts. So I hope you like the story, and if you want to listen more of the stories, stay connected.